Yes, I just want to say before I begin that this was supposed to be an informal event, so I'm not underdressed. You actually may be overdressed for this. A little bit about myself. I was born on June. No, I'm kidding. I changed 14 schools growing up. Maybe that's of interest. My father was running from the law. My most recent job was in an African education company before this, and at the World Bank in the US before that. I'm currently doing my MBA at INSEAD, and I'm looking to start something right now. So look for me.
And I'm gonna start the timer just to be fair. Yeah, just a second.
Can we make one suggestion? Give them a 1 minute warning before they come to the end of their pitch, because they lose track of it.
Okay, sure, yes.
Thank you.
We started.
Sure. So my company is called Thrive, and we're a soft skills coaching company in India. Now, before we begin, I just want to ask you, there was a recent global survey done for HR managers and business managers. They were asked, what are the top 10 skills that you look for in your new hires? Any guesses from you guys? How many of those skills were soft skills? Just give me a number. 3, 8, 9, 7? It was actually 10. 10 of the top 10 skills that managers look for today are all soft skills. It's things like oral communication, listening skills, written communication, presentation skills, adaptability, drive, the ability to manage stress, right? It's all these soft things that really make a difference. And LinkedIn CEO Jeff Weiner, music to my ears, came out the other day, and he's really talking about the soft skills gap now. And I want you to ask all in your own lives, right? What are the skills that have really made a difference in your careers? I know it's mine. It's not what I know, but it's how I communicate what I know. It's the relationships that I've been able to build, right? And yet, even though we know all of this, if you look at our education institutions and universities across the world, but particularly in India, from where I'm from, and my own experience, we completely overlook this, right? Universities are geared for the hard stuff. It's math and physics and engineering and computer science, which are all great. Yet we're producing generation after generation kids who, even if they get a job, aren't able to fit into the workplace and aren't able to build the relationships they need to. And I consider myself uniquely placed. I was fortunate enough to change 14 schools all around the world. I worked at the World Bank, got some great experience in Africa, and I'm at INSEAD, right? I've been a debater through college, and really my experiences debating and mentoring students have changed not only me, but in my opinion, their lives as well. And so I wanted to make a difference. So I started a company called Thrive, and the idea is really to provide soft skills coaching to undergraduate and graduate students and young corporate employees who are entering the workplace in a way that is completely different from anything that's been done right now, if it is. So we're looking at immersive, group-based, practical, effective, and most importantly, fun. So what I've done so far is, in my summer break at INSEAD, I went back to India and I delivered this program to about 25 undergraduate students. I charged them about $250 per student. And the results have been amazing, right? I wanted to do it to test whether I enjoy it, which I did. One of my students, I'll show you the testimonials later, but one of my students won a TV anchor competition. One of them got an internship that they were looking for. 2 of them, did really well in presentations. But most importantly, all of them left more confident and more capable of dealing with others than when they first came in. And that to me is a success. So the idea is to start my first center in Bombay in February. And the idea will be, 25 students, 1 trainer, initially, which will be me, and then the idea is to really build this out and train other people to be able to deliver this and start in cities, the main cities across India, and really to take this as a pan-India soft skills coaching center. And so far, I haven't seen anybody really tackle this space as strategically as I'm trying to do. There are some mom and pop stores, but really I think the quality is lacking, and I think I can make a difference. So I would love your guidance and support along the way. Thank you.
You still have 1 more minute.
Really?
Yeah.
So all I had, maybe you can ask me more questions, perhaps.
Okay, you want to stop and...
Yeah, I don't have.
Okay,
I don't have much
yeah,
questions.
okay. Do we have any questions or feedback? Yeah.
Soft skills you are really...
Thank you for that. I missed that.
You can go to the slide if you want, if you have it there.
No, it's fine. So what I did in my program was confidence building, the art of listening, public speaking, group discussions, interview prep, effective email writing, networking, making conversations with strangers, effective use of LinkedIn, and CV prep. So these were some of the stuff we've done. But basically, and I did 16 sessions, so trying to cover a whole gamut of soft skills.
But is there any kind of awareness that you want teach them in the office politics that kind of things.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point, right? I mean, and so I did a bit of negotiations, but really you're right. It's about how do you deal with tough conversations and interpersonal conflicts and things like that. So yes, I will build that in as time goes. But thank you. I agree.
What's the structure of the days or the program or workshops?
Right. So what I've done so far was 2 hours over 16 sessions. And I charge $250 for it. I think that can be compressed to about 10 sessions. I think that's more ideal. But it's 2 hours over 10 sessions. And it's group. So about 25 students, I think, because really I'm trying to make it immersive, and I think you can't learn these skills unless you come up and practice and really put yourself through the fire each time. So with 25 students seems about the right size.
Cool. And then, so what is the practice structure like? And what is the pull through like afterwards, after the event?
Could you elaborate on the pull through?
Yeah. How do you make sure they're going away and doing the things that you're saying that they should do, or they're deciding that they want to do?
Yeah. So I mean, give you a sample session, right? So suppose it's public speaking, for example, right? You know, I do a lot of research beforehand on what makes good public speaking. I look at TED videos and all of that. But when they come in, it's basically showing them a video of what I think is a good speech and how you do it. Breaking it down by what are the key takeaways, right? And then really doing a speech myself as sort of an example, but then getting each one of them to come and practice, right? And they get better each time, I promise you. And then the real beauty of this is the feedback that we all give each other, and that's where the learning happens. And then there's homework, which is really you have to go out there and make a speech in public, record yourself, or you know, and it's really this constant going back and doing it which has really made the difference. And then what I've been trying to do since I've been at INSEAD now is create a WhatsApp group. I mean, that's or a Facebook platform where they keep posting about, you know, a conversation they had with a stranger, some of the stuff that they use, group discussions that they're having at jobs and things like that to sort of keep the learning going. But that is a good point about how do I keep making that post session journey more memorable to them. I think that's important.
Yeah. Bit of feedback, and you produce a shed load of content that you don't produce, that someone else produces for you. Okay. So you can network effect your content creation on the pull through, and then have a lot of virality with that. Yeah. So that pull through can also work 2 ways for you, from a branding perspective as well as effective.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
So any questions?
I have 2 questions.
Press mic and please use the mic.
Okay. I think I will loud enough, but. Right, so we're going to do role play from a VC point of view, right? So VC typically love to ask these 2 questions. First one is, what is your IP? So what is your intellectual property associated with what you're producing, and how do you prevent it from being copied? And second is, how you're going to scale.
Thank you.
Yeah, both things I'm struggling with, to be honest. But the first one is, I think, what I consider my unique selling point is really who I am. Okay, and I know that's a strange answer, but I believe that so far what I've done, and I really believe that I can make a difference. And I take the curriculum design very seriously. It's about being immersive, group-based, and fun. And I don't think you can outsource that and make a lot of other people try and copy that. I think that's unique to me. But that then comes to how do I make it scalable? So then it's sort of in conflict with that answer. I know that, right? I know. So in my head, the ideal scenario is as I'm going through this journey, I meet people who I identify can carry this on, who are similar in my background or similar, you know, who maybe even I've coached and they've come out really strong from it and they understand what I'm trying to do, and coach them. But I don't have an answer to that scaling issue at that point.
Students.
Yeah.
Alright, so perhaps I'll put yourself, if you don't want to just pause. If I put myself in your shoes, the way I would answer this to the investor is, I'm going to make it an MVP, where I'm going to show how this technology actually works, how this solution actually works, how my product is unique. And once I reach an MVP, then I'm going to hire a team to help me scale and be able to grow this to 5 cities, 10 cities, 3 countries. That's basically what you should be able to do. Because when you're coming to a VC, what he's looking for is, if I invest into this guy, how will this scale? How will my investment, which I'm coming at perhaps X amount of dollars, will become 10x after the investment comes in, right? So this is again for feedback from everybody who's trying to pitch. When you're thinking about entry for the investor is thinking about exit. He's thinking about, right, if I put money into this, when I'm going to exit this and how much money I'm going to make out of it. So that's something which you should always have back of mind. What does this guy want, and how do I focus on that? So,
one suggestion is to look up Tough Mudder. They are an events-based business that has scaled massively. VC backed. They're not like this, but they're an events-based business that has had massive success. Just look at how they scale.
Thank you.
The other way you could look at it is not go for any kind of investment. And maybe you're in the wrong space. Maybe because you said it's like all about your idea and your drive to create almost a pyramid structure, and when you find these right people, bring them into your own organisation, give them a share of your organisation and create a pyramid structure, and don't get investment, especially if it's so personal.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't come here trying to pitch this to investors. I came just to share the idea. So that's I'm not looking for VC money. I just wanted to, share the idea. Thank you.
We actually still have like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever. If you have more
dance.
questions, more feedback, it's done. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
No more questions? Okay, thanks a lot. Sorry. Mike, sorry, we have one more comment. Shoko, the microphone is there.
It's just a feedback, but what your presentation stands out is that you don't need slide. Which means everything is in your head, so you know the contents, you're very confident about what you're talking about, which we usually don't see in a particular pitch, because usually the presenter is busy following through the slide, but then your approach is you never have to look behind about presentation. Instead, you can look at the audiences and then try to convey, which I usually love to see in a more standard pitching style. So that's, I think, also tells about your soft skills.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you once again, Kartikeya.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.